You're 112 pounds.
Yeah.
That's freaking
Well, give me
crazy.
the advantage, 120 pounds.
Okay, even 120, man. Because there's so much physical stuff that you have to do with like carrying logs, carrying boats. Like,
yeah,
that's
and so people would sit there and say, like, I was under the boat for a while, and then they go, oh, you two little guys, me and Gregory Garcia were in front, right? And then they got two medium-sized guys, and then there's two tall guys. Yeah. So our boat was like this. So going up Mount Suribachi was cool because it stays level.
Like level.
But when you come down the other side.
Ouch.
First 3 times it wasn't good because we would crash, and then we said, man, we really got to run fast. I mean, it was sprinting downhill in order for us to make it, So there was a disadvantage.
So what's your introduction to buds like? Or it's UDT tray. How do you guys say that?
UDTRA.
It's UDTRA. What was your introduction?
When I first got there?
Yeah, like you got there.
Well, when I first got there, everybody just kind of wandered around, with like. This was in 41, right? In 41.
This is class 41.
Class 41.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to share something with you that was really painful for me in 41. And so there's another little guy. His big mouth, man. Another guy. And then there's another guy, Black Cat. Beautiful. Look at him going, Jesus criminy, man. And there was another little guy, Mel Tanaka. He graduated. He's a teams. And Artie Reese, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's another little guy. And so...
You guys had a little mafia. Little guy mafia.
They were little guys. They outweighed me by about 10 pounds, 15 pounds. but it was... It was... I didn't have any focus. I was just along for the ride, doing whatever they were going to do. And so it was like, there was no like this prep stuff. Mm-hmm. It was like we got there for 1 week. Everybody kind of got to know each other. The second week, we're running. We're in class. We're in training. And we're doing all that whole physical thing, getting us ready for Hell Week, right? And so during Hell Week, it was the last day of Hell Week before you secure. It's a Friday afternoon. It was a Saturday they secure, mm-hmm. right? I think they secured on Saturday.
What, when Hell Week is over,
yeah.
you mean?
Yeah.
It's been Friday and it's been Saturday, depending on like what era.
Well, it was Friday, and then that Friday night, they do a paddle, and then they secure Sunday, right? So that, we were doing a swim.
So this is in Hell Week?
This is in Hell Week.
Okay.
We were doing a swim. And down and back, down and back. And when me and Gregory Lee got out, these guys were getting out of the water. So, all right. So I'm glad, too, because it was cold. We get out of the water. And when we get out of the water, there's Chief Allen. He says, okay, you effing quitters over here. And I'm like, well, I didn't quit. He says, you're out of the water. I says, yeah. He said, get back in the water. By that time, I was cramped up. There were like about 60 guys got out. I mean, almost the whole class got out. And so I said, well, I didn't quit. He says, get in the water. And I went, I didn't know that if I'd have got back in the water, that I would have felt warm. I didn't know that. So I went with everybody else. So that night, that was Saturday night, I could see him coming around for the last paddle. And I looked out the back window, and I just started crying. I said, I didn't quit, man. So I went back to the instructor shack, and there was no bell. It was on the door. Espinoza reported, they wanted to speak to you, Chief Allen. And so what do you want, Espinoza? I said, Chief, I didn't quit. I said, I got out with everybody, but I didn't quit. I said, you fucking quit. I said, I didn't quit. I said, I want back in. He says, you can't get back in. I said, I got to get back in. He said, I'm going to tell you this. He says, there's only one way that you may have a chance. He says, you got to go talk to the captain, Captain Myers, command all the amphib base, right? The whole command, and talk to him. Maybe you might have a chance. He said, but I doubt it.
So what day of Hell Week was this?
It was the last day of Hell Week. We'd already gone through Hell Week. We'd already gone through all the rolling around and all that
so
bullshit.
You're done with 5 days of Hell Week.
We were in the 6th day of Hell Week.
So it's pretty much over.
It's pretty much over. It was the last evolution. It was the swim.
Uh-huh.
And then we get in boats, and then we paddle. right? It was late in the afternoon, probably about 5 or 6 o'clock at night, or in the just like out here. Starts the sun starts coming
And
down
so
by 6.
so you guys finished the swim.
Well, those guys that finished the swim, those guys that were with me, that I was with, we were out. They're all quitters, right? I said, I didn't quit in here, right? So I went and I told Chief Allen, I said, I didn't quit. He slams the door and says, get the fuck out of here. So I went back to the barracks. I was broken, man, because I wanted to be a frogman. And so that was Saturday morning. Sunday came, and all the guys in the class were barely walking, and they're sitting there looking at me, and I'm looking at them and I'm sure they were saying fucking quitter, and I don't really want to say that word, but so that next day I put on my dress blues, man. I go to the guy say, hey, Espy, where you going? I says, I'm getting back into training. So I went, got breakfast, went over to that knock on the door. Oh, well, we go in, and these other guys said, we'll go with you, right? About 20 guys go with me. Crawdad knows this story. 20 guys go with me.
These are guys from your class?
The guys that were all...
That had made it?
No, that had quit.
Okay.
All the quitters, right? All the guys that had made it to that phase of Hell Week. And there were even some guys in 41 that quit after Hell Week. I said, forget it. See, people... It's just the training, man. It's not the real world ops. So when people talk about, going to Frogman and, I did Hell Week and all that bullshit, but then you still got to do world ops. That's what they don't tell you about. That's what you don't see. That's what the hero bullshit is bullshit. But when you get out, like Roger Hayden does a trip with UDT, gets shot, gets a Bronze Star from there, then he goes to SEAL team, and they look at him and say, new guy, huh? He's like, because when I met him, he goes, those sons of bitches SEALs, he says, they sit there because I'm a UDT guy that I didn't do anything. And Roger. So he's those sons of...
that's some big balls to call Roger Hayden a new guy.
yeah, he was a new guy. Well, he was.
Yeah, I know.
He was a new guy. I'll tell you something more about that later on. But so I'm in there. The captain walks in.
So did these 20 guys that came with you, did they also want to get back into training?
Yes. So they all come with me, right? Skipper walks in. We're waiting. Told him what we wanted. He goes back out. The one day, for 5 days, he never talked to us, never acknowledged us, nothing. So from 20 to 30 guys, people said, fuck it, I ain't doing this. They're gone, right? At the end of that week, there were 6 of us. Me, Schellenberger, Mo, Steele, Garcia, right? And McGee. So the next week, that Friday, he had us come in. We came in. He said, what do you want? I said, and I looked at the guys, I looked at him and says, I didn't quit. He said, what about you guys? And they just looked and it was like, I didn't quit either, right? 6 of us. He says, well, we wanted to get back into the next class. Get out of my office. So we leave. Weekend. So the next week, I show up with the guy said, what are we doing, SB? I said, going back. So we go back Monday. He comes in the whole day. We sit there. He walks in, walks out, walks in, leaves. And then he comes in the evening. He says, okay, he says, I'll see you Friday. Don't come in. See you Friday. So that was another week. We came in that Friday. He said, I talked to your instructors. I told them who you were. I asked them about what went down, and they're willing to give you a chance. But I have a condition. We're like, okay. He says, one of you quit or get hurt for any reason, you're all gone. So I'm like, I looked at my guys. I said, look, guys, this is important. If you don't want to do this, don't do it because I got to do it, right? I don't want to, I had a hard time being a loser. I had a hard time letting guys, even when I was getting beat up, the inside warriors working and going, now you're going to figure it out. You're going to take care of this. And I wanted the chance to push it all the way, right? And it was like, no, we're in. We all agreed, right? So the first day of 42, Oliver comes out. Espinoza, Garcia, Schallenberger, Steele, McGee, and Moe. Lester Moe. He was the one who got one out of our class that got killed. Second class torpedo man. Out of the 6 of us, 2 of us became SEALs. We were drafted into SEAL team. We didn't go UDT. Like you used to have to go to UDT training. And then you go to do tours of UDT, and then you volunteer for SEAL, right? So,
did you reclass up? Did you start with a brand new class?
Yeah.
So you went all the way back through first phase again? Back
started
through Hell
all
Week
over,
again?
and here they are. We're up there in front. We're front and center, and they said, about facing the class. These motherfuckers are quitters. Don't walk to them. Don't talk to them. Don't be around them. Don't hang with them, because that's who they are. So everybody's just kind of looking at all the cats in 42, right? And so they put us in the same boat crew. And it was miserable, man. I mean, but me and Garcia were the 2 little guys in front, and Schaller and Steele were a little bit higher, and McGee and Moe were taller. So our boat was it was a lot better than like this. It was kind of like this. And they put it on us. And I look at some of the guys like now in my class, they said, look over us and see what was happening to us. Like, well, shit, they ain't quitting, you know? And so then we get ready to go do Hell Week. So I'm looking at my guys.
By the way, it takes like months and months and months to recover from Hell Week. So you had been through Hell Week all the way until the last day.
Yeah.
And then you just went right back into a freaking class.
Then there was like there was probably about the 3 weeks or something like that, and it was the next class.
Damn.
We still had blisters on our ass and our
sure.
feet, and our hands were still jacked up. So we're looking at each other and said, okay, this is it. What's going to be painful. But what they did then is the officers picked people in their classes. That's how I got wanted with Crawdad, right? Mr. Kirkland picked me, Crawdad, Courtney, Ingalina, and Posselt.
What, for like their boat crew?
The boat crew. There were 6 of us. Me and Posselt were 2 little guys.
Uh-huh.
And then Courtney and Crawford were a little bigger. And then Mr. Kirkland and I forgot the other guy was.
They do it all by height now. So they take all the smaller guys, put them together. They take all the tall guys, put them together.
Ours were pretty much together. There were 6 of us in the boat crew, not 7. And we were the number 1 boat crew. We won. We won this shit. And Crawdad tells the story of when, because we did all those harassment things.
Yeah.
Well, I did one who had to run on my knees like this, and the guys were, Chief Allen comes out there and standing in front of me, knocking us around, and hey guys, help me. And so we as trainees, right, in 42, a lot of guys think outside the box. There's a lot of guys in 42, but we are the ones that challenged our instructors. Oliver, sing a song, Indian guy, right? 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indians, bang, bang, bang. Oh, you fucking think it's funny, do you? Sticks us out on the swimmer line, right? We're out there on the swimmer line, and he goes, all I need is one of you to quit. So I'm way at the back end. F you, Olivera. F me, I'll F you. You sons of bitches will be out there all night. And we were, because it was, the tide goes in and out. And then Chief Allen was sitting there. There used to be a lady called, Wolfman Jack was one guy that was going on. It's Wolfman Jack. I'm doing soul music. And then there was a lady named Sister Margaret, black lady. She'd be like, do you have problems? Do you have pain in your heart? If you don't know what you're doing in your life, Sister Margaret, call her at 355-3585. And it was like, F you, Sister Margaret. I mean, our guys were fighting. We're fighting back, right? Yeah. We're fighting back for that humanity. We're fighting back to reveal that. That's why 42 is a pretty tight class and big, because the nature of that class. The nature of that class was set like that. And when we went through training, those guys helped me get through this evolution. Chief Allen lost his glasses. Dad said, we went out looking for his glasses, and you went over, I got it over here, Killer Whale. We called him Killer Whale, right? And I stood up and found it in the sand, and I stomped on him.
Damn.
And I picked him up, and I go, here you go. He looked up, and he goes, straightens him up, puts him on, goes, cool. Walks off. Crawford disease, and his heart fell through his asshole. He's going, oh my God, he's going to kill us. But that's what they want. Your instructors aren't there to kill you and make you. They want, now I see it as totally different. Not break you down to make you. You hear a lot of these SEALs, right? Or they break you down so we can mold you right back. I'm seeing it now. They were breaking me down. So that little kid, that little warrior Espinoza in there, that the young kid that wants to, that is peeled off, right? Through the hurt, through the fear, through the mistreatment, all that is pulled off. I'm not ever going to be the same as those other, however you become a success. But that little boy, I want to get back there because that's the whole and complete person that I was. So when I strip off all the bullshit, right, without the socialization that comes in through the society or the socialization that happens in your own family, the pure thing, you know, your kids fighting each other or brothers fighting each other, or in your neighborhood, Bobby Cervantes, you know, going to pick on him because he's black and he looked like Cochise, and he was the target of every teacher we had through racism and classism and everything else. How's he going to get power to fight back, right? How are you going to take somebody that is in a community? If you were to take in our family, our community, our SEAL community, our family community, we all fought back. So that's why there were so many of us, and that's why we were all, even though later on in our lives we do things that cause discord between me and you as a teammate, the bottom line, the one thing that we did have was that relationship of understanding that we were being revealed, not created, but being revealed that, yeah, well, in order for me to do this, in order for me to be, I notice you don't have a Rolex, but the old SEAL team, real SEALs got them.
No, I just got a Timex. I'm not in the real SEAL category anymore.
Yeah, in Vietnam, we'd sit and we'd pull the covers off our Rolex.
Did you guys get issued? You guys got issued those?
Yeah, Tudor Rolexes, yeah.
See, that's, you know,
yeah.
I got some kind of, I'm going to file that with the complaint department,
You
man.
you should.
I got jacked.
That's how we knew who we were, you know. Matter of fact, I'll tell you a story about this thing, but you know that.
Well, I always say that, well, when people ask about, you know, BUDS, which was BUDS for me, it was UDTRA for you. Like they don't teach you anything, and they don't teach you mental toughness. You just, the people that don't have it, go away.
Right. It's sorting itself out in you.
Yeah.
And you know the beautiful thing about it too is that when you're both doing that, and you and I are in the mud and we're crying, we're sitting going like this, and you look up and I look at Garcia and go. He goes, okay, all right. And then Boku crawdad, right? You know, or pat on the ass, or hey, we can do this, you know. And Chief Allen, you know, it set, especially on the race piece with that, about who I am as a human being, right? It's the great spirit that I am, the light that's in me that moves forward, right?